Hello everybody, this is the thejonnymar, and welcome to the latest episode of my Johnny Poorly Plays series. So in a recent poll on my Patreon, I asked for another episode to do in this particular series, and my patrons voted for a 3D fighting game. So I've talked previously about not being a huge fighting game player, and I certainly have not played a lot of the 3D fighting game variety. I have my PlayStation Classic here booted up. I could play Tekken 3, but I figured I might as well go back to one of the first games released on the system, and that is the original PlayStation, and that is Battle Arena Toshinden. So again, I'm not a huge 3D fighting game player. I would say my favorite 3D fighting game, if it even counts as one, is Virtua Fighter, probably Virtua Fighter 2. I played that on the Saturn with some of my friends who had Saturns back in the day, and also in the arcade. And this is going to give us a little bit of backstory on this particular lore associated with this game. And I always pronounce this game Battle Area Toshinden, but obviously that is not what it is. It is Battle Arena Toshinden. But this was supposed to be what Sony hoped would be the Saturn Killer, a 3D fighting game to bring fans in to the PlayStation. And I feel like there were a lot of other games that did that better than this particular game, because critically, this game was at the time considered an okay game, but in retrospect, it's not that great. And we're actually currently playing the PAL version, because on the PlayStation Classic, about half the games are actually the PAL versions, because Sony could not be bothered to actually get the NA versions of the games for all of the emulation purposes. So in terms of the settings here, we'll leave it on normal difficulty. My goal is to get through 2 or 3 fights before I get absolutely murdered by my opponents. We'll see how bad the AI is. Again, I don't really know the controls well for this game. It looks like there's some basic kicks and slashes associated with it, and then the other controls are associated with rotating, which again makes it a 3D fighting game. You can actually move around the screen and actually move around the battle arena. Now, I'm not sure if this game has ring outs. That was one of the things I liked about Virtua Fighter, is that you can knock your opponent out of the ring and automatically win. But I guess we'll find out as we play. So again, we have our various fighters here. We have our femme fatale, of course. We have our old man. And then we have our knight. Generally, I like to pick knight characters or old men, typically. One of my favorite fighters in Virtua Fighter was the character that did the drunken kung fu. So we'll go with this guy, Foe. And we'll take on the femme fatale, Sophia. With her whip, of course. Little dominatrix action. So again, I don't know the controls here. I don't really know much about this game at all. Again, I haven't really played it that much. I tested it out a little bit before recording this video, just to make sure it would record. The PlayStation Classic is not the greatest mini system, at least the default version of it. Now, it has been hacked and jailbroke, and there are versions that you can download using SD cards to the system that make it a lot better. But I'm playing the original version because I don't do that sort of thing with my mini systems. So I'm just going to play with the default here. I'm going to attack. I'm going to jump around like a fool. I don't know if... Okay, I did something there, but I don't know what that was. So I don't know if this uses Street Fighter motions or more Mortal Kombat or charge or what's going on here. And I just need to hit you one more time, Sophia. Let me hit you. There you go. A nice quick kick to the chest or the thigh. Maybe the whip, actually. I do like this guy has some Wolverine claws on him. One of my favorite comic characters and my favorite X-Man. I'm not sure how to block even. Do you just hold back? Didn't look like there was a specific dedicated button to actually block. And I can feel the lag of the 50 hertz here as opposed to 60 of NA being the PAL version. That is again one of my biggest criticisms of the PlayStation Classic. Obviously, ow! Can you stop hitting me and kicking me in the face? the game selection is not the greatest, and then also the fact that they used PAL versions for a lot of the games. Okay, I'm just gonna keep sweeping you if you're gonna let me. Okay, there we go. At least I didn't lose to the first fighter. That would have been embarrassing, I guess. I don't feel too bad about my poor ability to play fighting games again. Don't really play them that much at all. But let's take on Kayin? Kayin? I don't know, it's probably Kayin. He's got a sword. So I guess this is a 3D fighting game and a weapons fighter. Which again, Tekken is more known for. And again, if there's interest, perhaps I'll come back to another 3D fighting game and maybe we'll play a game in the Tekken series. I don't have any games in the Tekken series other than Tekken 3, which is on this particular mini console. And again, I think it is the PAL version, which is unfortunate. And even the non-PAL versions, I'm sorry to complain so much about the PlayStation Classic instead of talking about the game here, but... okay, good, down he went. But even the non-PAL versions seem off. So playing Final Fantasy VII on this, the sound and the soundtrack and audio just seems slow compared to the rest of the game. So I don't know. Sony really went with a cash grab here and didn't optimize this system at all when they released it. And I did pay full price when it came out. The PlayStation 1 is my second favorite system of all time after the Super Nintendo. So I definitely got this system at launch. Not the original PlayStation. I actually didn't get a PlayStation 1 until about a year after it came out. But I meant the PlayStation Classic I got when it came out. And I was pretty disappointed. And then when it immediately dropped within like a month to $50 because it just sold so poorly, then I felt even worse about it. I think it's back up to like $70 or $80, maybe even $100 now because it's more of a collector thing. But, yeah. Should have got it when it was on sale. Can you let me get up? Or are you just going to keep hitting me? I feel like the AI is kicking into overdrive here, and the fact that I don't really know what I'm doing is starting to show. Why is my guy jumping on only one foot? I don't understand. This guy's probably gonna beat me because, again, I don't really know what I'm doing here. And if he does, oh, maybe we'll find out if there's ring outs. Then we're just gonna call it there. Okay, let's see if we can pull this out. No. So as always, viewers, I hope you enjoyed this episode, showing off how bad I am at 3D fighting games, and I'll see y'all in my next episode. So long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please press like and leave a comment below. Please also subscribe to my channel and press the notification bell. See you next time.